constituted the Cross River State Executive Council, and over 30 commissioners were sworn in. And a lot of them are doing very well to ensure that the people's first mantra is being achieved. And in the last 1 year, indeed, you agree with me that the set of commissioners that this administration is parading is actually one of the best in the history of Cross River State and nascent democracy from 1999 till date. Now, I have joining me the Honorable Commissioner for Power and Renewable Energy, Prince Eka Williams. Honorable Commissioner, good afternoon and welcome to Weekend Politics.
Good afternoon, Joe. I want to say that I'm really elated to be here.
Thank you.
After all the stress and running around. I'm happy to honor you. I'm happy to be in service to the once again. Wow, it's a beautiful place now. You can see that there's plenty of touches around here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me start by saying congratulations to you, Honorable Commissioner, for 1 year so far.
Thank you so much for the hard time flights. It's already 1 year. Wow.
Okay, so let's quickly get started. In the last 1 year, we'd like you to take us through a journey. How has it been?
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to start by thanking the Almighty God for making this possible. He used Senator Prince Bassey too to bring me on board. I want to thank His Excellency too very immensely for finding me fit and competent enough to serve in his cabinet. It is not an easy feat to be among the first 31 or close to 40 cross-areas that he appointed to help him, navigate his plans of bringing Cross River State to the El Dorado that we all desire to be. I say a big thank you to him, and I say to Cross Riverians, I say thank you to you for your prayers, for the journey so far. It is not made possible without your prayers and your understanding. I know that we are not where we ought to be, but what is important is that when you take the right step and in the right direction, you'll get right results.
Absolutely.
So I want to just say that clearly we've just been trying to put things in the right perspective. Power is not an off-the-shelf thing. You just don't go buy generator and bow on it and you have light everywhere. The gestation period for any plant of a huge magnitude that will bring megawatts to the state isn't going to be that easy. We are exploring every avenue. We're taking into consideration every facet of our economy. We are making sure that everybody in Cross River State, at least if we cannot get light from the grid, we should be able to have light from mini grids. So we are using the off-grid processes, on-grid and off-grid. By this I mean the on-grid are the ones who have wires running, around where you have from power from electricity, from NEPA, from PHED, like NEPA like you used to call it, which PHED now. Those are all on-grid. Off-grid are the ones you have from solar dedicated systems, small systems that are not connected to the national grid. You want to have solar systems from isolated systems like generators, CNG systems, and all of that. That's what we call off-grid. So we are working with the on-grid and off-grid processes. So we started very strongly by doing a complete audit, an energy audit of the state, to know where we are in terms of electricity. And it saddened my heart to notice that the rate of infrastructural decay in the state or in the country, so to speak, it's worrisome. And that's why even when we have some electricity to generate some electricity, to distribute and transmit it is a huge problem. And that is where we think that the federal government and the state government infrastructure need to be put in place. And that's what we are doing. And that's where I Vandalism is something that's so worrisome. You notice that all the transformers, not some, all, over 30 something transformers have been vandalized. Not only the transformers, the substations, all the cables, everything cutted away with, and so it became a lot more difficult. So we had to go back again to His Excellency to approve some more. That will be done. Same thing with Bakassi. You know, when you're talking about Akampa, you can't go to Akampa without talking of some part of Bodupani. So we took off to Bodupani. When they constructed that bridge, so much destruction was made. So we had to go through a longer route to establish that line. That we have done. Bakassi too, we have gone up to Bakassi. If you for you to go to Bakassi, you have to pass through Akpabio. So that we have done. We've tried to strengthen that network. Again, issue of vandalization. The line is on and is alive. You know, so vandalism in terms of that line, then I will be digging his own grave. So we're just waiting for transformers to put up that again. So we are expecting that in another distant time, in some weeks now, we should be able to do Bakassi and Akabi, a few transformers. And I want to ask my city, my perseverance, that please, Prince too, the governor of Cross River State, is doing his utmost best to make sure that power, returns to everyone. Then you have a duty to perform too. Do not allow vandals take us back again. Please, let us make sure that hands are on deck. Are you a chief? Are you a traveler? Are you a citizen? Are you a student? Whoever you are, this infrastructure are your property. This infrastructure are your property. You don't just sit aloof. You don't say, well, after all, let government. We have been able to, if you go through the carnival and through Medicine or through the highway and back to the stadium, that second, you notice that there is never any time at night that you have blackout. Then the normal electricity is not on, the solar lights come up.
Yeah, because I want to come in there to find out the exploit you've done also in the area of the renewable energy. Talk to us on that as well.
No, perfect. You see, well, solar lights are part of the renewable energy.
Yes.
The renewable energy space is quite huge, and for Cross River State, thank God for where we are geographically located. We are such that we have massive presence of solar potentials, solar, sun. If you go to hydro, we have more than 17 sites that we have identified that have solar potentials, like Aboku Waterfall, Up the Range, Power Falls, and all of that. We have commenced study, and in each of these locations, you need a minimum of 2-3 years for you to finish your study. Studies are on, and I can show you that the presence of electricity there is good. It may not be able to take every local government, but some part of Cross River State will be enjoying from some of these. The studies are on. His Excellency has again graciously, approved studies to be carried on. Again, I want to thank him for that. Now we have biomass. Biomass is waste from the industrial waste and communal waste, municipal waste, local municipal waste, the one from your houses and all of this one. By the time we finish what we are doing, those dump sites, instead of there's called waste to wealth. That's what we are trying to do. We are generating electricity from all of this one. Again, studies are going on and negotiations. We're talking with the Commissioner for Environment. We are working in partnership with him. So in that light, in no distant time, you will see so many of those things springing up. But they are not off the shelf items, like I told you. It's not something you just walk up and say, no, give me this amount of, it doesn't work, except you want to buy a generator. And you agree with that the cost of running a generator here is very huge. When you're investing in CNG, compressed natural gas. You can see that the presidential initiative in that regard is huge. We have keyed into it. His Excellency has given a nod to it too. Studies are going on, communications, interactions are going on in no distant time too. We'll be having doctor and mother stations in across the state where you can equally convert instead of using the normal petrol or diesel that is 2 or 3 times that expensive. If you use the CNG, it is about 30%. No, you have about 70%, 70 to 60% reduction in your cost. You run your generator, you run your cars, you run every other thing. Those studies are going on, and like I told His Excellency too has given us the go ahead to engage companies who are interested, investing in that. About 4 or 5 companies now that we are talking with, they are already working, they are doing their geophysics and they are doing all of that. We still have huge potentials of what we call from the wind. From the wind, we have the wind too is a very good source of energy. Rwanda and Cross-Party government is into partnership. We are working with them. Next week, they are coming here again. We committed them to do a study. They are done with the study. So we want to study it and see how we can go into business with them. I think we have done a real good job in some of those things. I was in COP, at the COP 28 in Dubai. So we had so many engagements with NGOs and companies that are interested, funders who are interested to come here. And as the chairman of the Forum of Commissioners for Energy in Nigeria, I think I'm using that office very well to attract FDIs, foreign direct investments, the ones that are coming straight to Nigeria. I try to navigate them to cross the state. And so far we've had 3 or 4 companies come to visit us in Africa. We are doing a whole lot. I told you about the UNIDO partnership with us up the ranch for hydro plants. We're doing so well with that. And that's that for now. And before I forget the transformers that His Excellency the Governor of Cross-Party graciously donated to PHED. About 15 in numbers, and they are everywhere in the states. We are expecting more. More will come. We act. The situation of light, especially in the metropolis, is improving. So we need to be very patient with government. We need to be responsible enough to own them, report them to the police, report them to your chief, because that is what will make us. We've gone up to Goja. We've done 200 street lights with Goja as I speak. The Abakpa Lane up to the Zenith Bank and up to Monaya. The whole of that area is lit up. We have 200 now in Yako. We have the same thing, and we are planning to hit it come soon. We are going back to Ikom Goja. At least a few areas we have earmarked to return back and do some installations. We have a company that is ready to do 10 megawatts of electricity in Calabar, another 5 in Abuja. The studies are on. They are giving us their word that they will soon go to site. Okay. We ask that we give them the cooperation when they come. And for electricity bill, the government recently just gave us a leeway, to be able to generate, transmit, and distribute our own electricity.
Yes, so because I want to come in there because the federal government has been able to bring up the issue of power into a concurrent list now. So, and we know we have a power plant at Parliamentary Extension. Now, how are we trying to harness that to ensure that, okay, we now key into this leeway now, like you mentioned, that federal government has given to us, that, okay, fine, the state can also go on with the issue of transmission, generation, and distribution.
Okay, well, let me just say that it's a welcome development. It's huge. We give thumbs up to the federal government for that initiative. We are not resting on our oasis, so what we did right away is for us to first domesticate that law, because for you to be able to run those power plants yourself, you must domesticate your law. Otherwise, the national law still, will still override, or still will be used to evaluate whatever you're doing here, until you the state assembly assents to the law and you take it to NEC, for ratification. You still will be under the control of the federal government. So for that, what we just did is that we've done the law, we've sent it to Attorney General of the state, who is going through it again, to make sure that he does his eyes and cross his teeth. This time that too will be with the assembly, that will be passed into law. It's still a bill as we speak. So we have equally done a survey, strong survey to make sure that we come out with, we have inaugurated an action plan committee in Cross River State Energy Policy, renewable energy policy. There are two. I think by next week we are receiving the report. There are two will be handed, will be forwarded to Attorney General, to do the needful. We are not resting at all. Like we mentioned, the assets we have, the most important and viable of them is the 26 megawatt that is new. That plant is very good. We've had a tier of, gas supply, to the plant. Now what is holding us is just a little, and I'm sure that has been handled. Gas, we call it gas purchase agreement that we have sorted out. So this time we'll be having gas from the same company, Savannah Energy, that's giving information, Lafarge. We tee off from them, so the structure is done, everything is done, gas is there. So the moment we finish the agreement, they will push gas to our plant, so we can push 26 megawatts. The one at Parliamentary is the one that is a bit cumbersome, but I have put in place a committee to go through all of the assets that are there and advise us appropriately, because it is too technical, for me to just sit on the radio and comment on. To come out with their result. Okay. When they come out with that report, we'll be able to take consideration to what was the way forward.
All right, great. Now, I have a question. While you were talking in one of your statements, you said exactly, talked more about vandals. So how can we handle these actors that are fighting against the goodwill of the state and the people of the state? How can we, fight this issue of vandalism?
It's advocacy. It's advocacy. That's exactly what we are doing here. We won't tell another. The commitment. Let's just own this asset. We have to change our mindset. Everybody believes that it's after all, it's none of my business. But I want to tell you very clearly that it is your business. See, the money that is supposed to be voted into other things now, we are going back. We are going back to start rolling out lines again. And I hear, especially for Akanka, it's about the third or the fourth time this is happening. It's so sad. All of us, including our chiefs, we should put our heads and hands together to make sure that we help in advocacy. We tell our brothers, we tell our young ones, because these things that are happening are not, people don't come from the breeze to do these things. Our friends and brothers are the ones doing all of this. You see somebody with a particular cable, you know that it is not an off-the-shelf thing. You report to the police. But you see people climbing the poles without the necessary gear, without the necessary person. Call the police so that they can be accosted. If we all take responsibility of our assets around us, not only the electrical appliances, every other thing that is owned by government is owned by you. It is your taxpayers' money. It is your money that is being used. So we don't sit there aloof and allow things be destroyed. Then we come to complain. Like I will always say, because I keep for fear of repetition, but I still say what Blood will always say, that evil will always triumph when good men do nothing. That is one of my popular, quote. I love it because you have to take responsibility. We all have to be part of it. We all have to take full responsibility of assets within our locality. You tell them, put yourself into vigilante groups. put yourself into advocacy group and let people know that look, government exists for you and not the other way around.
All right, Commissioner, let's look at, in the last 1 year, let's look at those challenges you faced as the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Power and Renewable Energy.
Well, truth be told, it has always been attitude to work. Attitude to work. Is it the civil servants? Is it the citizens? People just don't like taking responsibility. People just want to, I call it especially the younger ones, the Indomie approach to things. That is what I call it, the Indomie approach to things. They want it done now. They don't want the methodology. They don't want to follow the rule. They just want it done. However you want to do it, they don't want to know. They want to hammer. That is what they are interested in. Nobody cares. You're in school, you just finished school, or probably you're still in your final year. You have not even thought about going for youth service. If I finish my youth service, I work for 2-3 years and do this. No. Straight from classroom to hammering. However it is, whether it is good or bad, whether it is, they don't care. And how can the society do like that? Now His Excellency has approved about 2,000 men, workforce. Those who have hammered. Imagine a boy who is in his final year is already driving a Mercedes-Benz 300 or a Camry, with big phones, worth 1.something million, and he's called upon to come and work for 70,000. He will say he doesn't belong there. But to be told, nothing lasts forever. After wasting your youthful age, you get at 40 or thereabout. And I keep telling them over and over that the particular age you get to, you cannot beg again. By the time, if you like, we die or do anything, by the time you're 40, 50, you go to bed. Everybody say, look at this old man. What is your problem? For those of us who are from Cross River State, we have enough land. With 100,000 naira, you can do a small garden around you. There are so many plots that don't even have buildings are not on them. If you go there and take a plot of say 100 meter, 30 meter by 30 meter, and do your perennial cropping and all of that one, you beg the person who the owner of the plot, and say, even if he's renting, you want to rent, let me keep this your plot clean for you. You can do something for yourself, And I pride myself as one of those young men who all through have been in the private sector. And even in the private sector, I have tried to make sure that I don't sit down and wait for government before I move to the next direction. My story is a story that, at least it's a story for another day. When I come to the studio, we'll talk about that one. So today, I am here to address the gaps in electricity. And I want to say too that private sector should take advantage of the shortfall in electricity and fill the gap. I tell you the truth, in some areas they are doing it. If you go to some markets, people just pick up their generating set, buy bigger generating set, and give out electricity for a price. Instead of everybody owning his gen in a particular market, they give that out. They subcontract power, and that is a way of making sure that your cost comes down, because if everybody keeps running his own gen, over time you'll be running at the loss. That is just a quick fix. I am not saying that company is not going to do something. In the interim, if people come together and do all of those ones, before government starts coming with their own electricity, it will help you bring down the cost of electricity. But I want to say very clearly that government is responsible enough. It will take a little while, but we are doing the needful, step by step, precept by precept. Prince Pastor Ibutu is so committed to making sure that all parts of Cross River State return back to the grid or have electricity, even if it's off grid, but it is a grid that is commensurable in terms of benefits, in terms of cost, that will reduce costs that can serve the masses. There are some of the plants that we already have about 4 in some communities, 100 kilowatts and below, that with solar panels. We are doing that for the unserved areas. By unserved, I mean areas that do not have the presence of electricity at all. So there are some little communities, and we tell them, those who are in communities that lines are over there, make sure that they don't vandalize them. We are rebooting, we are rejigging the system we will come to you. It's going to be gradual. For those who do not have electricity at all, that suffer, that we have very long lines to get to them, we will consider other options, either isolated grids, so we can get to them, and we'll look at the viability of those communities. I will try to let them know that whatever you're doing good at, if you're good in agriculture, be strong with it. Don't mention that, electricity gets to your community.
Right, so Commissioner, just two more before I let you go. How do you intend to sustain this gains your ministry has achieved in the last 1 year? And what is the future of the power sector in Cross River State?
Well, when I look at the future, I look at the future with plenty of hope, because I noticed that like never before, the federal government of Nigeria, is investing, and my governor too, is doing his best to make sure that we get so much. We have the NIPP plant in Cross River State. Let me shock you. The electricity we get from the NIPP and the NIPP plant in Odukani, that we play host to, we are the host community, we are the host state. It has a megawatt capacity of about 565. It's made of about 5 turbines. These 5 turbines have the capacity of about 112 megawatt each. So if you put all that together, you know that it's not small energy. Now, what we are advocating for, which is aptly our right, what I want to call it, we deserve, it deserves it if we can pay for it, is to, that's what when the minister came, that was where I centered my discussions with, and the governor equally hammered on it. We are asking for a full turbine to be dedicated to Cross River State. The problem is not only in generation. The problem in electricity is not in generation, especially in Cross River State. The problem we have is not in generation. We have problem with transmission. Our transmission network are very, very poor. Let me shock you. You might be surprised to know that from Calabar to Ikom and Ogoja, there is no clear network. If you want to transport electricity to the other part of Cross River State, you have to go back to the grid, take it and drop somewhere around Enugu, and you start traveling back to. And you know that it is energy loss as power travels. So those are the challenges we have, and we are doing everything possible. I am not just sitting down in the States to just do the quick fix things. What we are trying to do here with my governor is engaging the minister, engaging the assembly member. They were just here 3 days ago. I played host to them. Chairman of House Committee on Power and about 9 members were here, and we played host to them. We have ironed out all of this work. It's very clear. I'm engaging RIA Agency, and NEC is there, MNET, all of them that are involved. They will tell you that Cross River State Commissioner is one commissioner that is always on our tools, on his tools, and I've promised that before the end of next year, we will start seeing serious traction, from the federal government in Cross River State.
Right, so 1 year gone, 3 years still remaining ahead of the first term. What would be your message to Cross Riverians that are watching us right now?
Well, my message is very clear. Please, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, let us give the governor Prince Bassey Edele all he deserves, all the cooperation. He's a man of deep vision. He's a man that has great passion for Cross River State. He talks with passion. He's a man that has been there. You saw him in the House of Rep, what he did in the House of Representatives, even when he was just a legislator. Even how much more now that he's governor with the red pen. All he needs is your cooperation. He needs your cooperation, and you need to put him in your prayers. You need to put him and his family in our prayers. We need to put the commissioners in our prayers. We need to put our state in our prayers so that we can have something different. Look at the protests. Everybody, the other states were busy trying to. We have not even pulled out of the NSAS one we had. Our Tinapa, our Tinapa that we pride about. Tinapa is the shadow of itself. We are going back again to do things all over. That has set us back more than 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know what we will do. For God's sake, any serious-minded human being will engage in that kind of venture. Please let us not allow things like this. We are a very poor state. But we are not, the poverty is not what the material things you see, but it's of the mind. I know that in the minds of Nigerians, we are very rich. And by the time we convert that which is in our minds, to the physical, we will become richer than any other state. Let's take advantage of the fact that you can access Cross River State by air, by land, and by sea. There are other advantages. Cross River State is the only state that's so centrally located. You can live here by air, and off you go by road. You can link up other states. If you want to go by the sea, you can still go. We are just here. The Atlantic is there. The ocean is open up to us here. So we have sat down in the Executive Council meeting to agree that we are going to take advantage of this our geographical location, the way God has placed us, to make maximum use of it, especially with the governor that prepares to, who is not only the legislator but a very balanced manager, because he's been in the bank, he's been here, he's been in the business world, so he understands it very well. And I'm sure, and I can see it coming, that Cross River State will not be the same again after the next 2 years.
Thank you so very much, Prince Eka Williams, Honorable Commissioner for Power and Renewable Energy. I'd like to say again, congratulations to you on your 1 year. And from what you reeled out there, you've done quite a lot, and I'm very sure that you deserve some accolades, so they would say. And it was also commend His Excellency for getting a square peg in a square hole. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. Time to time, we'll bring you up to give us more about the mini-grids, the mother and the daughter, and all of that we need to know about your power sector. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll quickly take a very short break. Our next guest is here, Barrister Ekademus, who will be here to talk to us. Let's look at the constitution of the Cross River State Independent Electoral Commission and the elections ahead of us. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. Weekend politics return shortly.